Let us begin with this pranam mantra. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhirilitam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam srimadatatam bhuvi grinanti e bhuridajanaha. Now, the last time when we were reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, and that was the August 19, 1883, the Sri Ramakrishna was telling, do you know what Maya is? He was asking Sri Master Mahashaya. Is it attachment to relatives, etc.? Now we find this, about this Maya we have already discussed, but again we find that in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad also it says that Indro Mayavihi Pururupa I Ate. This is a unique way. Indra, that means the Supreme Being. It's not that mythological god Indra, but the Supreme Being. Mayavihi, through false notion. Indra Mayavihi Pururupa, manifold is perceived, I Ate. The Indra, that the Supreme God, he is manifesting in all over in so many different forms. That Maya, the word, has been used in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. In the Bhagavad Gita, there also we find it says in the 18th chapter, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hriddeshe Arjuna Tishtati Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani Jantra Rudhani Mayaya. Again the Mayaya, that word Maya has been used. The God dwells in the heart of all beings, resolving them all by his mysterious power of Maya, as the machine does with its mounted on it. So the mysterious power of God is Maya. The Sri Ramakrishna is asking, do you know what is Maya? Again in the Shetashvatra Upanishad we find the same Maya. Mayam tu prakritim vidvat Mayim cha Maheshwaram. Maheshwara, that is the Supreme Lord, Supreme God, or in the other way we can say the Brahman with Swaguna. He is creating, sustaining and destroying this universe with the power that is called Maya. This Maya, this word has been wonderfully utilized by Shankaracharya to explain how that Brahman, about which we are discussing in our Sunday classes, that this Brahman, how it could become so many varieties. So that way he has utilized this Maya using the power. Shetashvatra Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka, Bhagavad Gita. Again in the Tantra, Jnana Sankilani Tantra, it says that power of God which God uses to create, preserve and for the destruction of the universe is Maya. Sa Maya, very clear, Palini Shakti. Palini Shakti, he is sustaining, preserving this universe. Srishti Samhara Karini, again creating and also destroying. Whenever we are using this Samhara, means destroying, and we say that it is as if destroying everything, it is not, taking back into the original form, that is called Samhara. So that is done with the power of God. Sa Maya Palini Shakti Srishti Samhara Karini. And in the Bhagavad also we find the same. It is supporting this Maya. Sava etasya samsrashtu shaktihi sad asad atmika maya nama mahabhaga yaidam nirmame vibhuhu. In the Bhagavad it says that power through which God creates this universe is Maya. So when we are, Sri Ramakrishna simply mentioned a single word, Maya, he said, do you know what Maya is? But when Sri Ramakrishna is explaining the Maya, it is actually in a different dimension, a complete different dimension. All these scriptures, they were talking about the Maya, the God's power, which is helping to create, sustain and destroy. But here Sri Ramakrishna says it is attachment to the worldly things. It is attachment to relatives. Maya, and then he used another word, Daya. Maya is attachment to relatives, parents, brothers, sister, wife, children, nephew, nieces. But Daya means love for all created being in a different way. So this point we must remember, Maya and Daya. When the Maya comes, the Sri Ramakrishna utilizing this power of God for the creation, sustenance and the destruction at the same time for the individual being. How the Maya is acting? And he says it is attachment to the worldly things, attachment to the temporary things, attachment to which I feel is my own. So that is called Maya, and because of that attachment, again and again we are coming back to this life and suffering, etc. Next come in that Sri Ramakrishna afterwards he is mentioning about the another thing. The Adhar Sen and Balaram Bose came to visit Master, and then the discussion went into the another way, that is called Simha Vahini. Yes, I visited the goddess. He was telling, I visited the goddess. She is worshipped by one of the branches of the Malik family of Calcutta. It is a very famous family. They were very rich. They were having a lot of businesses and factories, etc. This Malik family, this branch of the family is now in strained conditions, circumstances, and the house they live in is dilapidated. The walls and floor are spotted with moss and pigeon droppings, and the current and cement and plaster are crumbling, but other branches of the Malik family are well off. Now in the big family, as it always happened, different brothers, they are a different way they are doing. So this particular branch of that family, which is having that famous Durga Murti, image of the Durga, Simha Vahini, they are in a very poor condition, economically very poor condition. This branch has no sign of prosperity. Then he turned to the Master Mahashaya and said, well, what does that signify? They are worshipping the goddess. The other branch is not. But those who are worshipping the goddess Simha Vahini, they are economically in a very bad shape. So he was asking the opinion of the Master Mahashaya, what does that signify? Master Mahashaya didn't reply, he remained silent. Then Sri Ramakrishna himself gave the reply, and that is very important, and he said, the thing is that everyone must reap the result of his past karma. The thing is that everyone must reap the result of his past karma. One must admit the influence of tendencies inherited from past births and the result of the prarabdha karma. Here comes another very important point of Hinduism, karma phala. This is the theory. Nevertheless, then again he goes in a different. Nevertheless, in that dilapidated house, I saw the face of the goddess radiating a divine light. We will come to that afterwards. But what is this karma phala? And we thought that we will discuss about this karma phala, and it says karma, that is predestined or the fate, something like that. Fateism, sometimes people they say. And this fate or the luck, this karma, the Sanskrit word karma in English is called action. But the action has different type. Sometimes the action is intentional, it is consciously done, deliberately done, willful action. So the action is also the phala, the result will come when this is in this way, intentional, conscious, deliberate, willful action. When we are doing it, it has its effect, the karma, and this karma phala action, that is called karma, and this phala called, it says, is the law of karma. Obviously, there is a lot of discussions, particularly in the Buddhist school and the Hindu school, they are doing about the law of karma, and they say in this way, as the science says, every action has its opposite reaction. Similarly, the karma, the action when you are doing, obviously it will have an opposite reaction. And it says in this way, Shubha karma, the wholesome karma, good karma, or bad karma, ashubha karma, or unwholesome karma. That is the action. There is a neutral karma also. Sometimes we are sleeping, eating, or sitting. All these neutral karma. In that way, we are not doing anything which will be harmful or can produce some action, result. So there are three types of karma we find. One is the karma that is having an intention to do. Obviously, the result will be something like that. I go to a person, I tell him that I am worried about so and so, and actually I give a totally false picture, and then I influence that person in such a way that he take the action, and obviously that action brings the result in a different way. I did nothing physically, but when I go, I say something that creates a result. Physically, I am not doing anything, but my words and the way of presenting, that is creating some action which the result may be good or may be bad. If I go and say that person is really very good and you should not think in this way, or rather you should help him, that way I am inspiring that man, encouraging that person, is a good karma. But the opposite way is a bad karma. So the karma phala with the intention, I am trying to do something for the good, and I am trying to, with an intention to harm others. I am telling words in such a way, using the words in such a way, that is having a different meaning, and the person understanding in a different way and reacting. His karma phala, his action will bring result to him, and same time to me too. Though physically I didn't do anything. So what type of karma? Then it says Kaya, Mana, Bakka. Kaya means physically, I am going, helping someone physically or harming someone physically, that is Kaya, karma. Mentally, I am thinking something, sometimes good, sometimes bad. And we know that sometimes before, all our gurus they say, before you try to meditate or you are praying, worshipping, you must pray for the betterment of each and every one. In the Hindu society, they have a system that any puja that you do, before that you must perform Ganesha puja. This Ganesha puja means you are worshipping, thinking the betterment of each and every one. Ganesha is the embodiment of the whole universe. Gana, Isha. Isha means the God. Gana means all. So Gana, Isha, that Ganesha, when we are thinking that let everyone be happy, Sarvas taratu durgani, Sarvo bhadrani pashyatu, let everyone be free from all miseries. That is the prayer. When I am doing that, what happens? Good karma. How I am doing? Mentally. So one karma I am doing physically, another karma I am doing mentally, and third karma is there, Bhakya, about which we were telling. If I say something positive, which is bringing the good result because of my talk or my report or the way I present that, it is said, Raja Karnena Pashyati. The king sees through the ear. That means he listens from different people. He cannot go, the king cannot go all over the place, all over the country. But he listens and gets the result, reports, and from that he is forming some idea and doing accordingly. That is the thing. A person who is reporting with an intention to harm someone else, and that is very bad. So that is the karma. We must be very, very careful. Always it is there, and different way it comes. So the karma is very, very important, and Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning about that. So see the branch, they are, what does that signify? That means about the family. The thing is that everyone must reap the result of his past karma. One must admit the influence of tendencies inherited from past birth and the result of the prarabdha karma. He mentioned about only one. Now the karma means the action, and this action may be either intentional or unintentional. Sometimes just for the joke, just for fun, I say something not to hurt or not to influence someone, that result will be different. Though maybe that person is hurt, but I was not having the intention to hurt, so naturally the result will be different. That is called the karma phala in a different way. And then intention is very, very important. If the intention is not correct, so this is we are discussing, because in our daily life we are suffering or enjoying. Why? Some people, for some reason, they are suffering. When we see, oh, this is because of this and that, but we don't understand it as a karma. So this is a very important subject, a topic that one must be very, very attentive to understand and then act accordingly. And this karma is done with intention, without intention. Karma is done through physically, mentally, and through the speeches. Bhakya. Sri Ma Sharadamani Devi said, you should not use those words which may hurt others. So that is also Bhakya, Kaya, Mana, Bhakya. They say tapas in the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, they say tapasya, austerity, again in these three. Bachik tapasya, one should be very careful when using the words while conversing with others. Otherwise it is bringing the bad result. Sometimes some people are coming, when they are discussing, you feel joy, you feel like talking with them. But sometimes some other people are coming, the same way they are sitting, same way they are talking, and you are feeling when they will go. Because the way they are expressing, way they are talking, the subject that they are discussing is not that way good. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he used to love Mathur Babu very much. And at the same time, he used to love to visit the holy places. So he went on a pilgrimage, he went to the Kashi, he went with Mathur Babu, and he was staying with them. But there he was hearing that they are going on discussing about the business. So he was not at all happy, and he was praying to Mother, why you have brought me over here? I was happy in Dakshineshwar. So this environment, the situation, same people, but the way they are thinking, sometimes we don't express. We are quiet, but still the companions, they can feel that I am not liking to be talked or to discuss or to be there. How it is possible? Because my mental waves, the lens, are going and touching the heart of others also, thoughts also. So one must be very, very careful about the mental thoughts, the thoughts about that. Conditions under which actions are done modify the result. A soldier killing the enemies, he is killing. But he is killing the enemies in the war field. Another person is killing only to grab something from other, and he is punished. He is considered as a dacoit. The same killing is considered as a heinous. He is punished by the court of law. But when a soldier is killing over there in the border, he may be killing so many people, and the whole society giving him the respect as a hero. So action in a different situation in done, the result is different. And we find that the same action, and it's like the echo, karma and the karma phala is just like the echo. The sound and the echo. Whatever we do, it comes back to us. So one must be those who are trying to be a religious person. So yesterday a group of people came, I was talking with them. I was trying to tell them, but it was so impossible to convince them about this. Only some of the rituals, going to the temples or construction of the temple or performing some pujas and rituals, that is sufficient for them. So it was difficult. All those things are of course good, but the main is, if a person is not trying to improve his own mind, how he will do? Through the karma, through the good karma. That's why Sri Ramakrishna again and again, he is asking. Swami Vivekananda, he said, through unselfish work, you can reach the same goal where Buddha reached by his knowledge and Christ by his prayer. So this work, that is very, very important. And we find over here that Lord Buddha says, nowhere on earth or heaven one can escape one's karma. That is the Lord Buddha's. The Buddhism and Hinduism, both, they believe in the karma phala. Otherwise, he won't be able to explain why a person is suffering right from the birth. Another person, right from the birth, enjoying. That is the karma phala. The past life I can't see. That is why the Krishna said to Arjuna, Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tava charjuna tanyaham veda sarvani na tvam veta parantapa. Though you are a parantapa, you are a very ferocious warrior, even then you cannot remember, you don't remember that you and me both again and again was born in this world in different forms, different times. I remember those. So Punarjanma Vada, the rebirth, Karma Phala Vada, they are all coming together. And that is the result we are either right now enjoying or suffering. So here Swami Vivekananda said, almost like the Buddha, good, good, bad, bad, none can skip the law. So this is very, very important. But there are three different types of karma. In the Hinduism, they say prarabdha, sanchita and agami. So karma means action. The karma, the action, when I am doing with an intention, maybe good, good karma, with the intention to bad, bad karma, and sometimes neutral karma is also there. There is no particular intention of good and bad, that is also there. So three types of karma. And the karma phala also comes according to the situation. Very bad karma, as if killing a person, I am doing as a soldier in the battlefield, it becomes good. It becomes the good karma again when the Arjuna was confused in the battlefield, when he was thinking, shall I kill or not? Krishna encouraged him to fight, to kill his own kith and kin. Why? The first, when we were reading, Sri Ramakrishna is telling Maya, attachment to the relatives. Arjuna was under the influence of that Maya, the influence that they are my kith and kin, why should I kill? Though they were bad people, though they were harming the society, but Arjuna was having compassion because of the attachment which the God Sri Krishna broke. And then afterwards Arjuna worked. And then Sri Krishna is telling, after the whole karma, you give it to me, and I will bear you, and I will to make you totally free. The same karma we are doing, but giving it to the God. Yat karma, yat karoshi, yat asnasi, yat juhosi, dadasi yat tapassasi kaunteya, tat kurushamadarpanam. Whatever you are thinking, you are practicing, you are acting, everything, including your thoughts also, give it to me. So the karma, at the same time, we can get rid of all this. But if we cannot, then what happens? The result comes to us. Good karma, the good, bad is bad. As Swamiji said, none can escape the law. And there are three types of karma: prarabdha, sanchit and agami. Prarabdha means earned before. Now, whatever we are now today is the result of the prarabdha karma. It's very difficult to really feel and understand, and we don't like to understand this or accept this, because whatever we are today is the result of the past. And suppose I am very good, so I am happy and I immediately accept. Suppose I am not, I don't like to accept that, because immediately I am accepting the bad deeds that I have done in the past life. So people are not ready. Whether we are ready or not, that doesn't matter anything. That is the truth, that is the law, and it is going to happen. The prarabdha, Purva Arabdha. That is called Prarabdha. Whatever the past life we have done, now we are having that result in this life. Whatever we are doing now, it is going on in a store that is called Sanchit. Sanchay, Sanchit. That is going on in a store and it is waiting over there. It will come up afterwards. And then finally, Agami, in future, is going to open. If we don't believe that karma phala, then what happens? Someone is doing something good, but he is not getting any result. And someone did something bad, he also didn't get any punishment. Then naturally, in the law of God, it is impossible. It cannot be. It says in the then Kritahani Akritavyagam. Krita Hani Akritavyagam. That is two words used in our scripture, that if someone has done something good, certainly he is going to get the good result. If not, then something wrong. So it cannot be. So what happens? It goes to the next life, or the next life, or the next life. It goes following. It's just like our shadow following us. We did something secretly, no one noticed, and I am free? No, it cannot be. It is going to come back. In some form it will come, and the result will be surely there. So this is called Krita Hani. I have done, but no result. Sometimes some people, they come and say, you were such a bad person, but see how nicely he is enjoying. Sri Ramakrishna said, it is because of the past karma. He did something good in the past life. So naturally, whatever he is doing may be bad, going inside his bag and he is storing those things. He doesn't know, he is not aware of that. And so he is enjoying his life in this life because of the past good karma. Naturally we see this type of examples are so many in our life. Sri Ramakrishna is giving an example. See, the past karma phala, it is going to come to you and you are going to suffer prarabdha. About the prarabdha particularly, he said, one blind person with a great faith went to bathe in the Ganga. After the bathing, when he came out, all his past sins that went out. He was purified that time, but his blindness continued. Because of that blindness, it was already there and it continued. That is the example of the prarabdha karma. Then the Master Mahasaya said, yes, it is like the arrow that has already gone, already shot, so we cannot hold it. The arrow has already gone, so that is called prarabdha karma. And akrita bhyagam, obviously these two dosha, that these two mistakes cannot be done by the law of God. So this can never be. The prarabdha, sanchit, agami, this is the karma. One little girl, she was trying to catch her own shadow, and she could not do it. She was going on trying to catch her own shadow. So obviously it was not possible. She started running to catch that. Afterwards she got tired, she started crying. Then one person sitting from the distance noticed it and said, why don't you stop? You just sit over there. You see, your shadow will come to you. She heard that man, sat over there and found that shadow is also sitting with her. Similarly, when we are trying to catch our karma, it is just like catching the shadow. We are thinking that we will do the work so perfectly and then we will get the good result, or we will never do anything wrong. Same way, we do not know how we are doing something bad in the wrong way. So best is this, to all give it to the God. When we sit, perform the karma, but do not hanker for the result, and that is the secret of karma yoga. The action, the karma, the yoga, that is unification with the God, it is possible when we are offering the same thing at the feet of God. The Master, and he was telling it like this: pleasure and pain are inevitable when the soul accepts the body, and there is no other way. The truth is that one must reap the result of the prarabdha karma. The body remains as long as the result of the past action do not completely wear away. Sometimes some people, they are lying on the bed for years together. It's so painful even to see it like that. Sometimes people are suffering so much and they are begging to die. When I used to visit one person, he used to say, please pray for me so that I can die immediately, right now. I don't like to live. It's so painful to live. The longevity, some people, we always bless, live long. But living long in this way is suffering. And unless and until you are suffering, you cannot die even. Though if you can try, but you cannot die, because Sri Ramakrishna is telling the body remains as long as the results of the past actions do not completely wear away. And he said, the evil deeds in the past birth had to undergo that afflictions. And the Master said, however much a bhakta may be experienced physical joy and sorrow, he always has knowledge and a treasure of divine love. This is the secret. Maybe I am suffering physically, but at the same time I know the God is there, the treasure of love. So I completely surrender. There was a Sri Ramakrishna's direct disciple, the Mahapurush Maharaj is famous in that name, Swami Shivananda ji. He was having that asthma trouble. Whole night he could not sleep. He used to sit on the bed holding a pillow, because in those days there was no proper medication also. So he was used to hold the pillow on his lap, and then bending over that, somehow he used to take the rest. And the next morning, when the monks and the brahmacharis used to go to offer their pranam to the Swamiji, and naturally they used to ask, how are you, Swamiji? And he used to say, I am fine mentally, but physically I am suffering. There are two I. This body is suffering, but the mind is in joy. That is the secret. And it says, Sri Ramakrishna also said, much a bhakta may experience physical joy and sorrow, he always has knowledge and the treasure of divine love. This treasure never leaves him. Take the Pandava brothers for instance. Though they suffered so many calamities, they did not lose their God consciousness even once. That is very important. Where can you find men like them, endowed with so much knowledge and devotion? So this is the secret of karma yoga. Karma phala is inevitable. So to summarize, we can say there is karma, action. We cannot simply stop. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna very clearly said, the nature will force you to work. You cannot simply think, oh, I will not work. Then there is no result. So I am free from the karma phala. No, it is not. That was the wrong or the misinterpretation of the karma and the action. And that is why in the Indian society, majority of the monks, thousands and thousands of them, they thought that if we are retiring and sitting in a cave, only going down to the village to get some food and then quietly sitting and taking the name of God, then there will be no karma. Wrong. Because the mind is doing the karma. Mind is all the time thinking. The Bhagavad Gita, it is very clearly mentioned, Prakriti kriyomanani, the Prakriti, the nature will force you to work. Your gunas, sattva, raja, tama, the three qualities that is there inside the mind. When a king retires in the forest become a kingdom and the capital of that king, because the whole karma goes along with him. So naturally this karma is inevitable, we must have to do, but how we will do? In this way, if we can do that, we are doing it as a yajna, as an offering to God. Whatever we are thinking, whatever action we are doing physically, mentally, we are all offering to God. Every day we have to offer it to God and to say that whatever you have given to me, I am returning back to you. It is yours. And that way one can be free from the karma. Otherwise, there is no, we must have to either enjoy or suffer because of the karma. Now this karma, with the intention that we should be very, very careful why we are doing it. You cannot simply sit quiet, but with the intention, the thought that you are having at the back of the mind when you are doing. So obviously that karma, whatever we are doing, will be the good karma. Secondly, the circumstances we have to remember where we are, and that circumstances accordingly we should do that karma. Thirdly, we must be careful about that my action should not hurt others. I am not doing anything wrong. I am listening the music, but the volume is so much that it is everyone nearby are hurt and disturbed. I say, I am not doing anything, I am just listening to the music. But I know very well that simple listening of the music in that high pitch, high volume, disturbing others, creating problem for others. Knowingly I am doing it, that's also bad karma, bad result will come. So all this way we must be very, very careful when we are doing some karma. Sri Ramakrishna, whatever he is mentioning in this gospel, which I named as Panchama Veda, whatever he said, only for the betterment, the spiritual betterment of the devotees. So when he mentioned about the Punarjanma, the rebirth theory, when he mentioned about the karma phala, the action and its result, we must be careful that if we want some spiritual development, peace, God realization, so these are the steps we should take very carefully. Thank you very much. If you have some questions, because someone was telling, so sometimes we like to feel asking some questions, please give some 5 minutes time. If you have some questions, then we can try to answer here itself. Yeah.
How is the relation between
grace.
Right. So, for example, the devotees who might have, because they might have committed or something like that, but then because of their devotion to God, is there not a concession in the sense that the severity, the gravity and the severity of the bad karma phala, is it modified?
Sure, of course. Because again in that Gospel, Sri Ramakrishna, I think we have already read that portion. There Sri Ramakrishna is said, the karma phala, of course, it is there, but at the same time, for the devotees, those who are giving the whole thing at the feet of God, it is different. Why? Because who is giving the phala, who is giving the result, either good or bad? So that the same God, Supreme God, naturally can have that power to completely remove those things. And that's why they say Kapala Mochan. The Kapala means the fate, Mochana, it can change. A person can always get something good suddenly if the God wills it. We cannot go and ask him, why you have done this? It is of course. So that is the Sri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharada, they again and again they are telling that if you develop faith in the existence of God and develop the devotion, the love for God, then everything God will take care. You need not to bother about it. Some people they say the whole world is full of misery. And Sri Ramakrishna said, no, I don't see misery. I always see the whole world is full of joy. Why should I suffer? I don't care about anything because I know my mother is there. I go to my mother whenever I am hungry, anything that I need. I go and I know the mother is there. That faith is important. The moment I am having that complete faith that God is there, which has been called as Mother by Sri Ramakrishna, Father by Jesus, when that is there, then there is no problem. And small baby is not having any action. Whatever he is doing or she is doing is not creating any action that moment. The moment that it comes attached with the ego, I consciousness, I am doing, then the result begins. So that way it goes on. This is very interesting and very mysterious, very difficult to understand completely. But one thing is very clear, if one is having the faith, praying to God, then all the action that he does always become good for him. Sri Ramakrishna again said, when the father is holding the hand of the child, he will never make any wrong step. So that is the assurance we can say. Any other question? Devashish Babu? Okay then, and let us now chant this mantra. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram Parameshamidyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namama. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.